His phone call broke up. I'm starting to think does he do this through his phone?
I think so, yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
I've never done a Zoom call through a phone. I suppose you can. Why can't you?
Yeah.
A phone's just a midget iPod, an iPad. Hey, he's
All right,
back.
I can hear you now.
Oh my God. What a reveal.
That was something. That was
It's good. I
Chris
was talking
Collinsworth
so much shit
sliding in
about
the
you.
chair.
Hope you can't read lips.
I mean, I felt it. The pain was real.
Look who's calling me.
Who's that?
James Patterson.
Hey, James Patterson.
I'm not going to answer, but it's tough. He only calls you like once a year. So
It's
that
not
you
often.
kind of missed. It's like a cloudy night for a comet.
Were you riveted by our Baseball Hall of Fame conversation in our text thread?
I didn't read it.
That was some really choice content.
If I get too far behind in a text thread, I just don't. I'm like, see you tomorrow.
Yeah, that happens, especially in our text thread.
Yeah. Well,
Where suddenly
and
I'll
if
miss
it's
like
not
36 texts, yeah.
If it's not one of my 2 talking points, then I don't want to talk about it.
That's true. If it's not one of your jokes or an NBA thought, it doesn't exist.
Yeah, that's actually pretty true of not only the text thread, but pretty much the whole existence.
It's sort of a life rule.
Mm-hmm.
Well, here's one thing that's neither of those things. We won our fantasy game this week. That was good.
I didn't see it until I got a notification on Tuesday that we won. Sometimes I forget we have it.
I mean, you might as well. This is the worst fantasy league I've ever been a part of.
Could it be because of the lack of interest of? I'm probably more interested than most of the people because you're at least telling me what's happening.
Yeah, it's amazing. It's the only league I've ever been a part of where there hasn't been one trade.
Yeah.
Not one trade happened this whole season, and the trade deadline just passed.
Yeah. Well, I don't even really like football anymore, I don't think. I didn't watch any football last week.
Yeah. Why are you even still in it?
Huh?
Why are you even still in it?
I don't know. I feel like usually there's a barbecue. That's kind of nice. And then, I don't know. You smoke a little weed on a Sunday. And then one year, a couple times I've won it just because sometimes you draft a running back that nobody's ever heard of, and then he doesn't tear his ACL, and everybody else does, and you break your cell phone. And then let's put it right back in the place that I knocked it off. There we go.
Perfect. It's been a frustrating league because we are.
No, I won the league because I drafted Le'Veon Bell before anybody knew who Le'Veon Bell was.
Le'Veon? Sure.
Are you sure?
Yes.
You are? Oh, okay.
Yep. But yeah, we are stacked at wide receiver. I was stockpiling talent there to make a trade for a running back because we have one excellent running back and then like mediocre guys.
Yeah.
And no one wants to make a trade. No one is interested in a trade.
Because they're not responding to the emails. I know we have Josh Allen. We have Josh Allen on our team. And I don't know who else. He was on the Chiefs and now he's on the Dolphins.
Tyreek Hill. Maybe he's about to set a record for wide receivers.
You said it shorter than I did, but same idea.
Yeah. Wait a minute. How did you say Tyreek Hill longer?
Oh, he used to be on the Chiefs and now he's on the Dolphins.
History. Yeah, I got you. I thought you added a syllable.
Alvin David
like
has
Bell.
never not referred to Russell Westbrook as Jerry Stackhouse. It's like a weird tick, or he's doing it to annoy me.
I think the latter is the more likely situation, but with Alvin, it's certainly possible the former. I miss Johnny Miami. I haven't seen him in forever.
I talked to him on FaceTime for an hour last night. He's still doing duck tours. Could you imagine taking a duck tour right now? Or ever?
Not right now. Yes, ever. Actually, we took Matt Kona did a duck tour
I hear
for
Kona's
all the Boston comics with their kids, and it was a blast. It was great.
Yeah. I always hated shit like that as a kid.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't like when education was forced upon me.
There is very little education in this duck boat tour.
You're telling me Alvin's not given detailed?
I don't know about Alvin, but I went with Kona.
You think he's hitting the Crispus and Crispus addicts?
I'm sure Alvin is getting all the history you need in there.
He is quickly saying Christmas. I promise you.
You think so?
Yeah. Oh,
Christmas
yeah.
addicts?
Yeah. I mean, you're working for tips. Sure, his name's Christmas Addicts, if that's what makes everybody happy.
Everyone will enjoy that.
Yeah. America
Yeah.
was founded on capitalism.
That's what I've heard. You're in a weird mood this week.
I am?
Yeah.
Oh. I've had a hell of a week.
Tell me about it.
My car broke down.
Oh, no.
My car broke down on Morrissey Boulevard. And then I kind of was like on the way to the gym. I was on the way to the gym to shower because I don't have a hot water heater.
Mm-hmm.
So I went to the gym to shower. And then when I
You
start
don't
going,
ever have a hot water heater, or did it break down?
it's been broken for about a month. I've kind of acclimated the cold showers, but as it's gotten colder, it's become less fun. So I'm getting it fixed, whatever. So I started driving. I realized I forgot my sandals. So then I like revved the fucking engine. And then I broke the car. I drive like a toy car. And then I turn around. I like try to make it back home and the car just doesn't go. So I pull like to the under the overpass of Morrissey Boulevard. And like every car in Boston goes like right behind me and starts beeping.
Yeah.
And then I finally get through to AAA. It takes like 15 minutes, but I'm under the overpass. So as soon as I finally go, like, someone come help me, the call just cuts off. Fucking lost it. I was so mad. And then I finally try to like fucking, I'm like, I'll just try to advance like 20 yards. I make it as far as UMass Boston. And then the car just ran fine for like 2 days. And then yesterday I tried to start it and it made an I don't work anymore noise.
So it only temporarily healed itself.
Yeah, it was weird. I don't know how you can just kind of limp it off and then collapse again. It's almost like the guy at the end of Kill Bill, David Carradine.
Yeah.
He kind of walks for 2 steps and then boom.
Mm-hmm. The 5-finger heart punch, right?
Yeah. That's not what really did him in.
The exploding palm tip, I think.
It was the 5-finger necktie.
That's a tough week, man. I'm sorry. Did you talk to the mechanic? Do you know what's wrong?
I don't even think I'm gonna. I think I'm just gonna get rid of it.
Okay.
It's time.
Well, there you go. Are you going without a car, or are you just replacing it?
Oh, I did this thing through Uber where you can go to rent a car for a week.
Yeah.
I did this. Remember I had my door knocked off?
Mm-hmm.
I did. So I go rent the car. Not the most well-run organization. I'd say I was there for a solid 4 hours.
Wow.
Waiting to get that. Also, day before Thanksgiving, not the best day to rent a car, as it turns out.
No, not so much.
No.
You can. I think you can rent a Tesla if you've got good enough reviews through Uber.
That seems like a nightmare. If you don't have a station like near you, which I don't think we do, Paul, is there? Where would you even charge a Tesla? Oh, boo. You mean the Seaport? Yeah. Sea Point is a bar down the street.
I know that bar.
That I don't think would even look too kindly upon Teslas.
Is that the bar that got like that did comedy where
Chris
you and
Kinback
James and I hung out?
had a show there. Yeah.
One of the few comedy shows I've ever been frightened at.
Oh, yeah. The first show there, I asked the owner if like, hey, you guys think you can turn the TVs off? He goes, no way. The game's on. So I did. We were doing sets like, and the Sox and Yankees were like to the left and right of us.
I remember.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Kinback had some weird ones in Southie.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that was an interesting one. It's one thing to be at a show where you know they don't care. It's another thing to be at a show where they care enough to be mad at you.
Mm-hmm.
That was a show where you just hope they didn't care.
I was
Just
thinking about a
ignore me.
thing
I'm getting through it.
Louis C.K. said once where he was talking about the show that turned him into Louis C.K.
Mm-hmm.
And it was he pulled up to the Kowloon in Saugus. And he just thought to himself, like, I promised myself I'd never come to this fucking place again. I said I'd quit first because it switched from calling itself Nick's to something else.
Yeah,
And
I
then
remember that. Because
and then he was like, and he's like, that's the show that made me like, I'm dropping this act. I'm starting to do a new hour every year. It was like his rock bottom that made him. What room, if it changed its name and you had to walk back into it, would you be like, oh, fuck?
I mean, well, the name change, I mean, it was the same room, right? It didn't have anything to do with the fact that it wasn't Nick's anymore.
No. But he promised himself he'd never go back there.
Yeah.
And then by an accident of name change, he didn't know and he went back there. If any place, what's the worst room you would consistently do that you're happy you no longer have to do?
The Connection in Rhode Island, probably. Even though I haven't done it.
A lot of people like that one.
It's probably a pretty good room now. I'm reflecting back on this room 16 years ago. It's been that long since I've been in that room.
When known murderers performed there on the reg.
And I did the show with them.
Yeah.
Oh, yes. Yeah. It was when
I would imagine it could
Boston
be a pretty rough around the edges place.
Yeah, it was when the Boston Connection still ran it. And so you had to go down there to do the good weekends in Boston. Mm-hmm. They'd be like, all right, this weekend you're with blah, blah, blah. And Thursday you're going to go down to do Rhode Island. You're like, fuck.
Well, yeah, but then, so like Thursday of the headliner would often do there.
Yeah.
And then he'd come, right? Yeah. Or the Hookty-Low. I'm kind of glad I've never had to go to the Hookty-Low again.
The Hooky-Low, yeah, I haven't been there in ages.
I've taken some hits there. One time I was really bombing there in front of Robert Kelly, and he said, I guess the night before, he sees me the next night, he's like, hey, you mentioned me on stage when you were eating it like 4 times. Don't drag me into your mess.
Thank you for reminding me why I'm not doing comedy anymore.
It must be nice.
It's honestly pretty great. Like, it's very weird how happy I have been, and there's still this part of me that's like, should I write? Should I do something? Mm-hmm. Like, I'm super happy not doing comedy, and I still feel like I'm supposed to be doing comedy. It's like I feel like I'm supposed to be unhappy.
You're basking in what sounds like depression.
That sounds like depression?
Yeah. Oh, I don't have to do this. I don't have to do this. And it sounds like you would be depressed, but you're actually happier.
Yes, I'm happier not doing it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And I'm happier that you're not too.
Thanks, man.
Because you're happy.
I appreciate that.
And there's more spots for me.
Yeah, we were constantly fighting over the same spots. It was a real bloodbath. Real cockfight between the two of us.
I'm trying to think if we knew anybody that did it. I only knew Goldman that ever did the Tonight Show.
Yeah.
I feel like Boston people never were in the running for that. Occasionally Letterman.
Almost nobody. I mean, he almost never had comedians on the Tonight Show. Like, you really had to be Dane Cook. And you had to already be a pretty well-established name. He almost never let anyone else do comedy on that show.
That's pretty weak.
Yeah. Oh, he's a prick.
Well, he also is a comedian that deceitfully took the Tonight Show, right? So he's not going to hire, like, if you're Darth Vader, you're not going to hire like a kind of angry kid whose mom got killed by little guys.
What?
Isn't that how Darth Vader's mom was murdered? I was trying to come up with a reference.
Oh, all right. Yeah.
So if you're Darth Vader, you're not going to hire, obviously, Darth Vader.
You're not going to hire another Anakin Skywalker.
Oh, yeah.
Which, ironically, was the way the Sith worked, was you brought in another Sith Lord that would eventually destroy you.
Yeah, that's what ended up happening. But I don't think Darth Vader, had he just done it out of maliciousness, he would have picked a much weaker dude.
Probably. Leno, so he brought along his own Sith Lord Conan and made him think he was going to become the top Sith, and then he cut off his head with his lightsaber.
But it turns out Conan wasn't a Sith at all. Conan's wonderful.
Conan's a lovely man who just should have taken the Fox job when he had the opportunity.
Or just started a podcast. It'd be the first one ever.
There you go.
I think he's done so well for himself with that he's better off not having a late night show.
Probably, but he would have. I think he would have liked a nice 15-year run with the Tonight Show, or I mean, it would have been 20 years on Fox if he had taken it when it got offered, right?
It was a 20-year contract.
Yeah, I believe so.
Well,
no, but because he got offered, he took it over in 2009, and he got offered the job in 2004, where they said to keep him from going to Fox, they said, all right, in 5 years, you can host the Tonight Show.
Yeah. I also think almost everything Fox does kind of sucks. They're very graphic-y.
Well. Yeah.
You know what I mean? They never really do anything I liked. The Simpsons was good. I'll give credit to
Simpsons has done okay. Yeah. I think he would have done well on Fox. He would have gotten that half-hour jump start on the Tonight Show. He was red hot in 2004. I think he would have done okay.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I'm happy with the podcast.
Yeah. Yeah, I enjoy the Conan podcast. And he sold his podcast network for like $1 billion or something, right?
Yeah, to FX. Which is kind of like throwing it into the ocean.
How are we doing with our offers for our podcast? What was the last offer at?
We had a comment once.
Yeah, that was pretty good.
Who was that?
Oh, Danny, what are we doing?
What? Hit me with a thing.
Hit me with a thing. Let me interrupt you.
Okay.
Talk about something, and I'll disregard it.
Would you trade Anthony Davis right now?
I'd
just say
like
fuck the Lakers. And
what if I just got a popsicle? You ever, on a hot day where you're just like, I think I need to cool my insides.
Was that you, me?
Yeah, that was my you.
I knew we should have taken that call from Patterson.
He absolutely should have taken that call from Patterson. All right, yeah, Dallas is playing Boston tonight. Very exciting.
Yeah.
All I've been thinking about all day.
The Celtics are like too good.
Well, we just lost to Chicago. We're not that good.
We're pretty fucking good. Tatum and Brown still played good. And did Smart even play?
I think he did.
Ah, shit. Well, there goes that argument. But no, you lose games at home. If we played Chicago in a 7-game series, we wouldn't sweep them.
No, probably not.
No. So they'll win sometimes. But we've been fucking awesome.
They'll be okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, the suite's not happening on Sunday, by the way.
The what?
Remember I said you could get like a discount luxury suite? I was trying to get 18 people together to do it.
That felt like a lot of pressure to me. I don't know if I want to watch an NBA game with 18 people.
Well, with you, it would have just been 17 other people. How does 17 feel?
Huh? I think
it would have been 17 other people.
Maybe 6 is my limit.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Then I'm like, well, why didn't we just go to a restaurant? The Olive Garden.
I would have preferred less people too, but then it's more expensive.
It becomes more expensive, yeah. Well, why couldn't we just get tickets to a game?
I got tickets to the last game, and I found it kind of uncomfortable.
Really?
A little bit. Like I feel
they kept putting you on Kiss Cam.
Yeah. I was with my dad. I feel like my knees are
He's
banging
into
the
older
seat in front of me
guys,
more than it used to be.
obviously.
Clearly.
Yeah.
I like that we're open to that love, though. It was the closest I've ever been to my dad. But my legs were uncomfortable. And so I was like, all right, this is okay. But I was like, oh, suite would be really nice. And you get the private bathroom and you get to stretch out. And if we'd actually gotten 18 people, it was cheaper than the really good seats. I was like, all right, this isn't too bad. But yeah, it was not enough notice.
Yeah, no, and I feel like locking down one date far out. You never know if you get offered a show.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, I don't know. I guess I'd do it. If people say, just send me $100 or whatever, I'll just do it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't take advantage of that enough.
What?
That I feel like I could like send you a Venmo request without much warning.
Yeah, yeah. And I'll
And
be like, oh,
it,
fuck,
like
I owe him
I feel
money?
like you'll, yeah, like at least a third of the time you'll just pay it.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Like if it's not crazy, if I just send you a Venmo for $30, I feel like it'll be easier for you to just pay it rather than actually call and be like, what's this about?
Yeah, yeah. Oh, if it weren't for supermarkets, I would never give to charity.
No, never.
They're the only ones asking me.
You mean like at the end when you round
At
up
the
the
end, we're like,
charity?
hey, you need $1? But if
Yeah.
the Jimmy Fund came up to me and asked me for $5, I would give it to him right there.
I remember that sick kid that you told to fuck off. I remember that. Remember?
He didn't have Venmo.
No. And then you refused to go on a duck boat tour with him.
That's more a me thing. That's a nausea thing.
Have you been on a duck boat ever?
No, won't go. I think the worst part of Boston's traffic. And to
nice
voluntarily
sit
on a World War II boat in the middle of Boylston Street seems a little silly to me.
What if you were just on the river?
Yes, boat, I'm all about. Everybody's doing it for the boat. There are just boats that go out.
Yep. Yeah, it would be nice. All right, let's get a boat.
I would do the boat instead of the Celtics game.
Yeah, what if we just watch a Celtics game on a boat next time?
On a boat.
Yeah, let's rent one.
I don't think you even have to rent. You're very obsessed with the ownership of these things. We could just go to the boat and be like, here's $10. Let me on your boat.
That's what renting is, Dan.
No, but we'll just show up.
Here's money. Let me be on this for a certain period of time. That's the exact nature of rental.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I suppose I don't like reservations of any kind. I like to show up at the thing I want to go to and buy the ticket right there.
Okay. But when you're buying your ticket, you're actually just renting time in that seat, right?
But I want to do it currently.
Okay.
You know what I mean? If I'm going to an 8:10 movie, I want to show up at the movie theater and be like one movie, and then they let me in. I don't want to have to plan to be there because I might not go. I might be late. So also, if we go to the game, I would like them to start at the time of my choosing.
Perfect.
If I'm paying for this luxury box.
That was the old dad joke of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers from back when they started, when no one was interested in them and someone called to ask what time the game started, and they said, what time can you get here?
When you said dad joke Tampa Bay, I immediately thought of Tom Brady.
Yeah.
Exact dad.
The ultimate dad. Yeah, Tommy's had a tough couple of weeks.
I thought he was doing well again. See, I stopped paying attention entirely.
He played pretty well, but got divorced, and now he's being sued for the FTX scandal.
Oh, that's right. But I was thinking about just his football. That's probably all he cares about. He probably didn't know anything about FTX. He just said, sure.
That's why he's getting sued.
Is that how you get sued? Like, is when you just go like that to things?
Yeah, everybody give me your money. It's fine.
Yeah, I suppose that could get you in some legal trouble, just willy-nilly signing contracts.
Why not? Why not?
So how much trouble can you get in?
It kind of depends. So these celebrities are getting sued, and part of it is because they were partners in FTX. Mm-hmm. So they're kind of going, hey, you're partners, and you said, hey, everybody join in, and it's like a big Ponzi scheme. So you should have known what this is about, and you weren't looking into it at all, and you're responsible for it. So I don't know.
Could it be like a Kevin Bacon situation where he has to keep playing? Like Kevin Bacon wasn't in a ton of shit, and then Bernie Madoff screwed him.
Well, no, because he wasn't advertising for Bernie Madoff, so he just got fucked over, and then he had to work and earn money back. So he was just the victim. Brady and Larry David and these guys were basically just being paid in, they were partners with FTX, and they were paid.
Is this the commercial, the Super Bowl commercial Larry David was in?
Yep.
Wow.
Yep. That one.
If you were Larry David, why would you invest in cryptocurrency?
I don't think he probably had a nickel in crypto.
He just took their money to do a commercial?
Yeah. It was funny, and they here's a piece of this company.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
it's like these tech companies. And yeah, Larry David was like, oh, that's a funny commercial. Yeah, and maybe I'll make a ton of money again.
Yeah,
But
he's
yeah,
just worth so much money that I would figure I would never even care if I made anymore.
and he's the guy that I really look at and go like, oh, there's some exposure for him. Because if they decide that they are liable, he's got like $500 million for them to go after.
Wow. But that'd be good. He'd have to keep pumping out curbs.
It would be good for the audience, yeah.
For the audience, yeah, yeah.
And
Do you
if
know how
he
many
actually
more
worked,
people are close in degrees to Kevin Bacon because of Bernie Madoff?
limitless.
Another generation.
Yeah. It would be great if he worked this into the next season of Curb.
Yes. I didn't watch the last season of Curb.
It was good.
I'm sure it was good.
It's never bad.
Yeah, yeah. I'm one of the few people who like that movie he made.
And you're one of very few people who like
I
that.
am. I like that movie. I can't think of the name of it. It's got John Hammond.
Like Clear History, I think.
I thought that was the
There you go.
Scientology documentary. But that's Going Clear.
Mm. Yeah.
Maybe they could have like a DVD box set.
But yeah, I think that's a good package. That way I'm not even tempted to rent one of them. Perfect. Yeah, I was very excited. There were two movies I remember them making locally that everyone was excited about, and then I ended up hating. It was that one, and then the Invention of Lying, that Ricky Gervais movie. That was a huge piece of shit. Did you see that?
No. Is it better than one where he's a ghost?
No, it's worse.
It's worse.
It's exceptionally worse. He was making this movie, and everyone thought it was going to be brilliant. It was about this world where no one could lie. And he was the first one to ever think of lying. And he got everybody to be in this movie. Everyone was doing cameos. Louis C.K. was in it. Like Rob Lowe was in it. Jennifer Garner was his love interest. Edward Norton was in it. Like everybody was in this stupid movie. And it was terrible.
I kind of want to see it now.
Really terrible. Yeah, oh, yeah.
I love Jennifer Garner.
She's great. You would enjoy the badness.
I bank with Capital One just because of Jennifer Garner.
Yeah, I think
is that the right bank?
Saw Electra. It's a bank.
Mm-hmm.
We all knew what you meant. I got your back.
Thanks.
Yeah, you got it. Did you ever see Alias?
No, honestly, I don't even know if I've ever seen anything with Jennifer Garner in it.
I feel like it's hard to find a movie you actually have watched.
I've seen a lot of movies. I feel like, but
Yeah.
I've seen a lot of movies like 27 times.
Right.
Like I bet you I've seen Caddyshack 20 times.
Okay. It's held up.
And then the newest one's probably There Will Be Blood. I'm trying to think even. The newest movies I like that movie where you can't talk and there's aliens after you.
Oh, A Quiet Place.
Quiet Place. And the second one.
A Quiet Place 2.
But no, I don't watch a lot of new movies.
No, it's not a big part of your life.
Do kids not watch as many movies anymore? That's a thing, right?
It depends on who you ask. Because, I mean, the thing is, there's a lot of fucking shit out there, but it's not all at the movie theater. There's too many movies to watch. It's every day. There's like 8 new movies on Netflix and 3 on Hulu and 4 on Amazon Prime. And then Apple's like, don't forget we have movies. And I've kind of just given up. There's too many movies to watch.
There's a flood of them. It's almost less intimidating to read.
Yeah. Yeah. I think in like 2 years, the streaming space will be cleared out. We're not going to have to deal with this bullshit anymore.
Because it doesn't
Everyone's
make any money?
buy everything. Yeah. Yeah. It's been bad for everybody.
So what are we going to do?
In what sense?
How are we going to broadcast this podcast?
Well, you know we're not streaming, right? You know we're not on Netflix.
Oh, but YouTube. Oh, YouTube will still be okay.
YouTube will still be there. Yeah. Yeah.
Right.
Oh,
thank God.
Yeah, people will still charge us to like put our shitty podcast out there. We have nothing to worry about.
Yeah, yeah.
We're fine.
I forgot that we're actually paying to do this.
Yeah, this is I'm kind of relieved. I thought I was going to have to be the one to tell you we're not on Netflix.
I have made some horrible financial decisions.
That was going to be a real tough one.
When
you're
start
like,
reading
yeah,
these
fuck
contracts.
this car. I'm not even going to fix this car. I'm just going to buy a new one. I was like, wow, Dan's rolling deep.
No, no,
I don't even give a shit about this car.
no.
Maybe I'll
I
get a
just
new
don't
one.
want to drive a car that breaks because I hit the gas. That's a big part of a car.
It is. But also, that's when cars break, when you're actually using them. If you're not using it, nothing to break.
Sure enough. Well, no, atrophy. There's atrophy. If you leave it alone, squirrels will eat the lines and shit.
But it's still a car. I mean, if you don't start it up, you can't know that it's not working. You have to start that car.
Yeah, yeah.
Until
See,
then,
that
you
was
can't
pretty
actually
Buddhist
philosophically.
too. You're saying
that.
a lot of Buddhist-y things.
Mm-hmm. I'm getting deep into myself. I'm going deep. A lot of personal healing time, Dan.
So you're not going to make a comedy comeback?
I don't know. I don't see it happening.
You don't, really?
I don't see what I would want to go back and do. Like, I'm not doing a late night show. And even if I did a late night show, it's like, all right, well, I'm not going on tour.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not doing any of that stuff. No one's giving me a sitcom. What am I doing?
I'll give you
at
a
some
sitcom.
point. Thanks, man. I appreciate it.
Do you want to turn this into a sitcom?
Oh God. I mean, I'm ready. You know, if we start getting some of that sweet, sweet YouTube money that you were talking about, sure. Sure. What's the closest you've ever come to getting a show? Has anyone ever like talked to you about a development deal?
No. I sent an SNL packet in.
Okay.
I sent like a writing to Jimmy Fallon packet that they liked a lot, and I made it kind of far into that. And then, did I ever audition for something? I auditioned for a TV show that John Stamos was going to be on as like the main guy. I forget the name of it, at like CBS's headquarters. But I didn't really memorize any lines. I couldn't memorize any lines. And then I had heard they kind of like it if you kind of write your own jokes. They don't like that.
They don't like that.
No.
Stamos is a real stickler, I've heard.
No, they don't want the 21-year-old kid coming in telling the 40-year-old writers. Older people love when younger people tell them how to do things.
Yeah, big fans.
Yeah.
Big fans of that. Yep.
So, no. The answer is no.
Okay. Yeah,
what was
my masterpiece.
What was did you audition for TV and shit?
Yeah, a few times. I mean, I technically did an awful pilot.
Oh yeah, who was anybody I know on it?
Master P, the rapper.
Huh? What was he doing on it?
Yeah, he was producing it. It was going to be like a sketch comedy thing, but it was all supposed to be improvised. Not John Witherspoon. Who is it's terrible that I'm blanking on his name. The guy who used to write with Richard Pryor, the comedian.
Paul Mooney.
Paul Mooney was in it. He did the Weekend Update segment.
Huh. That sounds pretty good.
Yeah, it was terrible. He was good. I mean, Paul Mooney's just very funny.
Yeah.
He it was when Master P was just doing a lot of stuff. Like
Didn't he try out for the Toronto Raptors?
Yes, he did.
Yeah, he had a lot of
basketball.
He had a lot of irons in the fire.
He was doing everything. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. Ridiculously nice guy too. Like just super nice. And we were all there, and we were all like, "So you're not writing anything? There's no writers?"
Yeah, you should have writers.
No, go ahead. Yeah. And it was very much like, no, improv, go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that doesn't really work.
No.
It seems like a way to burn a lot of money.
Yeah. I did that. I auditioned for another couple of shows. I auditioned to host a show that Max Kellerman ended up hosting, the King of Las Vegas, something like that. I got a callback. I got a callback for the director to Spotlight for a good part. Didn't get that.
The priest?
No, one of the victims.
I got the part. The pedophile priest. They
It's
didn't
gonna
even
be a
ask me to
victim.
read the lines. They said you're perfect.
No, it's good. It was going to be 4 scenes. It was a really good part.
Yeah.
So I was excited about that. Didn't happen.
Oh,
Yep. Oh yeah.
what was the
Oh
part
yeah.
gonna be?
It was the so have you seen the movie?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Okay. It was the guy who meets what's her face, Rachel something in the coffee shop, where she's like, I really need you to tell us what happened. And he's like, oh my God. Okay, I think we need to leave. And so
The
they
guy in the
leave
first
the coffee
scene.
shop.
You're the first scene of the movie.
No,
Hmm.
no, it's later in the movie. That first scene was where like the cops bring in the priest, and then another priest comes in and gets him out of it, and then they're moving on. Yeah, no, this is a different scene. So
Oh,
yeah,
okay. All right.
yep. Anyway, like 2 callbacks for that, and got to meet the director Tom McCarthy, and then they ended up going to the New York guy. Yep.
Fuck.
Well. Oh well.
Well, that would have been cool.
That would have been cool.
Would you have?
Lots
Would
of
you
stuff I
have?
almost
That
thought
won
would have
Best
been
Picture,
cool.
right?
Yes, it did.
So does that mean you would have gotten an Oscar?
No. No, I
Because
mean,
you
I
would have
might
fucked
have
up the movie.
yeah. There's no way my movie would have gotten nominated.
You slip
No,
on
the
a banana
producers get
peel,
the
everybody
Oscar.
laughs.
Yeah. The producers get the Best Picture Oscar.
Oh, really? Not everyone in, but it's like so it's not like the New England Patriots. Like if the New England Patriots win the Super Bowl, the backup kicker gets a ring, right? People who work in the office get a ring.
No,
Not
you don't get an
everybody
Oscar.
gets an Oscar. That kind of
Nope.
sucks.
I think if you win the Best Ensemble for SAG, then everybody gets like that SAG award.
Okay.
Yeah, that's like the SAG Awards version of Best Picture is Best Ensemble.
Maybe they should institute that, a Best Picture ring.
Wouldn't that be nice?
Yeah, yeah. Kind of
Everyone
a little something for the catering staff.
Yeah, a little something to wear to the next barbecue.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, here's my spotlight ring. You want to try it on, kid? Sure. What's that movie about? Don't worry about it. Just try on the ring.
I was talking to a guy at a wake like a week ago, and he's like an actor or something. I'm like, well, are you doing anything now? And he was doing like, I guess it's based on a Charles Bukowski book or something about human trafficking. And I forget everybody's not a comic, so I just went like, oh, so it's a comedy? And he went, oh, no, far from it. Oh, okay.
I would love to do like a one-man show about Charles Bukowski that is all comedy. Just a guy who just taking himself way too fucking seriously the whole time.
Yeah, I would hate him.
Yeah.
I think Patterson loves him, right?
Yeah, he does, because he never met him.
Well, I think anybody that drinks and writes probably likes him, right? He's like there.
Yeah. Yeah. Patterson would absolutely, he loves Bukowski. And I think if they were ever like actually introduced to each other, one of them would die.
Yep. Well, Hemingway too. He's like your drinker.
Yeah. I guess that's what again, tie to Patterson going to Key West.
He's coming here soon.
Is he coming home?
I think he's doing New Year's Eve with me.
Oh, hey.
You should come.
Exciting.
You should come do the show. Come back to comedy.
No, I'm not doing that.
Attend
Where are
the
you
show.
performing?
I don't know.
Where?
That's not important.
Yeah, do you have any power to put people on this show?
No, not really.
Okay.
But probably. That's how shows get booked typically, is you just say, hey, put this fucking guy on, put this fucking guy on. Last week I was on my way to a show and they called me an hour before and they're like, we fucked up. We didn't book any other acts. So it was the only act. I was like an hour away.
Oh, fuck.
So I ran into another show. I grabbed somebody out to do a guest spot. And then I was with Tom Crowley because I was coming back. You want to hear this for not a hell gig. It was actually fun. I did a birthday party from a guy that had seen me years before. And then there were like maybe 9 people in a living room and like babies, like winding toys, shit like that. It was really funny. We got a funny picture of a baby walking away from me, like as I'm doing a set. But then I'm leaving that gig, and then I find out that I'm going to, oh, well, this gig will be good. And then I'm like, oh, yeah, you're the only comedian on. So then I Crowley hosted, and then I called Nick Ortolani, who I hadn't seen in a long time. He was great.
Hey, Ortolani, I love Nick.
Yeah.
I love Nick because he makes me feel like a Republican.
He's a French press owner.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Love Nick. He's the best. He's hysterical. Yeah. I like maybe the first year I was doing comedy, I got offered a birthday party gig. And I thought it was just like stand up. And then the guy called me on the phone. He's like, so what I actually want you to do is we're going to this place, we're taking a limo. I want you to like be by the side of the road and pretend that your car is broken down. And I was like, what? He's like, yeah. And then we're going to pick you up. And then I really want you to just like suddenly like start roasting everybody in the limo, especially my fiance, because it's her birthday. And I was like, okay, I'm not doing this.
Yeah.
I'm not doing this. And it was for like $150. Yeah. It's just like,
I've heard of
I'm
stuff
not
like
doing
that
any of
before,
this.
where you have to
Yeah.
pretend you work for the company and then go up and be funny. But that's absurd. Was it
But at
okay?
least-
What was that like?
Oh, I didn't do the gig.
Oh, you did.
I turned that shit down. Even my first year, I wasn't that desperate.
Oh, really?
Like,
I took one at
because
Laugh.
it was like it was fucking winter. Like that's the thing. Nothing at Laugh or at a corporation is the same as you're going to be on the side of the road
Yeah.
in a car that you're pretending is broken down, and we're going to pick you up, and you're going to roast my fiance in the limo, and then it was like an hour ride in the limo, and then I was going to be like taken back, but not in the
hear
limo.
the guy snorting cocaine as he offered you this?
It was so bad. It was so bad. And I'm just like, you know what? Can I, instead of playing the birthday, can I play your divorce? I feel like that's going to be a more fun gig. What if I do that show?
Laugh had me do, you get on tour buses or like buses that are taking people from a conference back to their hotels.
Yeah.
And they wanted comedians to cleanly entertain them. Like as we stood up at the front of the bus. I just did it. I thought it'd be funny. But I did get, a guy gave me $20 because I got out and I yelled at a mailman whose box truck was blocking the bus. I got like applause for that, which I thought was fun.
Oh my God. That still seems like how long was the bus ride?
Like 15, 20 minutes.
That doesn't seem like a terrible gig. Like I can get through anything for 15 minutes.
Yeah, I mean, thank God that mailman was there.
Thank God.
Yeah.
I hope you split the money with him.
He gets benefits.
Mailmen do just fine.
Is that true? I don't know if that's true.
They did until Louis DeJoy got in there.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Oh, was that Trump's...
That was Trump's postmaster general who's trying to kill it from the inside.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yep. But anyway, I don't want to say that too loud because now Nick Orlani is going to call in and explain everything that Louis DeJoy is doing.
You could have given
I don't think we have enough time.
No. I think we're at an hour here.
Are we?
Yeah. I would say a solid minute and a half of content.
Yeah, right in there.
Yeah.
Okay.
But I think that's okay.
That's okay. I think this is one of our best
shows. We're going to
shows.
splice it out, and then people are like, wow, we got to listen to 3 minutes of these guys.
Yeah, Paul's going to work his magic. He's going to take out the part where I sound suicidal, and we're going to have a hell of a podcast
you
here.
did perk back up a bit. Your head's higher than it was.
I got there.
Your head's higher than it was. But I'm noticing the room is very dark, and you're wearing dark colors, and you're speaking very Buddhist-y.
Yeah, this is my life now. I've given up all material possessions. Would you like my car?
I could maybe use a car. It's a hybrid, though. I'm not doing that.
No. It's all electric, baby.
All electric. I mean, yeah, I would do a hybrid, but I'm not doing all electric.
Yeah. No, you need a good hybrid.
That's an Indica car, and I'm a sativa guy.
Yeah. So am I going to get to help you find a car?
Oh, yeah, the search. It's Toyota Corolla hybrid thing.
That's what you're looking for. You want the hybrid. Yeah, because you don't have a charging station, so you can't go electric. So you want a hybrid. Yeah. And you want the Corolla? Like you're set on that model?
Something of that ilk.
Okay, so you don't need the Corolla. You just want something kind of that vibe.
I
That
have purchased.
smaller
I have
sedan.
purchased the last 3 cars I've test driven.
Yeah. Okay.
So I don't give a shit about my cars or clothes
gotcha.
or. I'm not smelly though.
No, you've always been a well-kept man.
That's important. When you're smelly,
Yeah.
people start to talk. When you wear bad clothes, they're like, "Oh, what's he? He's coming from the gym or something?"
You ever feel like cologne used to be a bigger part of the comedy world?
I think it used to be more a bigger part of the world because people smoke cigarettes and they smell like shit all the time.
That might actually be why. That's a great point.
Yeah, yeah. Wow. Came up with a good point.
You did. You did. That was a point actually related to exactly what I had said. This is like a first for us. That was fantastic.
Yeah, yeah. Oh, it was a joke I wrote that I never tried. That was I have a friend that's a cigar aficionado, which is a fancy way to say he smells like shit.
That's a good joke.
Yeah. So maybe that popped up the top of my head or something.
It's probably why, because comedians all used to smoke so much. And I feel like every time I walked into a comedy club, whenever there were guys there, they just like reeked of Dracar Noir.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And maybe like ward off a DUI, like your car smells like
Yeah.
booze, spray it. But then the cops like, what
That's probably
suave
very
guy
true.
is this who's swerving over
Yeah.
the road?
The best part of cocaine was that it smelled like nothing. There were no remnants to smell.
Were you around for cokey comics? I never knew Boston comics to be very cokey.
Apparently, like the last few years, they got
That was
cokey.
so bad. That was a big fail. I tried to reach for the water bottle. I got stuck in the arm of the chair.
When I started, I feel like everyone was in recovery.
Okay.
Like there was still a
That
lot
must
of the
have been an
comics who made it.
interesting time.
Yeah, it was. Like it was a lot of comics who were good guys who talked about like how much money they like lost to cocaine and to taxes because they got paid in cocaine and you can't pay taxes on it.
Yeah.
So there was a lot of that. So a lot of those guys were sober. I feel like Coke started popping up again maybe 4 or 5 years ago, where suddenly there were a lot of young comics who didn't know all those old comics to scare the shit out of them about cocaine. So suddenly a lot of young comics were doing Coke again.
Really?
Yeah.
Maybe it's the type of thing that's like, I never gambled and now I gamble. And I'm always talking about gambling. But before I gambled, I never talked about gambling. So maybe I'm just not doing it and everybody's doing it around me.
It's possible.
And there are addicts, but I'm a narcissist.
It'd be amazing if like cocaine made you wildly empathetic.
Huh?
And suddenly people are like, you know who's a great listener? Dan
He started listening intently instead of when he's sober, when he never lets anybody get a word in edgewise.
Ever since Dan started Coke, he's got great advice.
I seem very lazy for a cokehead.
All right, I think we're actually
yeah. I think we got up to 4 minutes of good stuff. All right,
yeah,
cool.
we got a show there.
All right. The game's on like right now, isn't it?
I should be starting momentarily. We're like 5 minutes to 7, so I think tip off's probably going to be like 7:05.
Cool, man. Yeah, yeah. And feel free to search for a car for me.
I'm going to start looking around. Like text me your specs. Tell me what you're looking for. Tell me what you're looking to spend, and I'll. I actually do enjoy that. I'll start looking around.
Yeah, yeah. Okay, very cool.
All right, man.
Okay, guys.